All right, my man, state your name and let them know you on Nickavelli TV.
Yeah, my name is Melvin Allen. Good morning. I'm on Nickavelli TV right now, my man on St. Nicholas Avenue in Harlem.
That's what's up. Knick fan.
Knick fan.
Who's your favorite player?
Is it Quickley or...
It's always nice when you got to choose between, more than one player. You want me to name some players?
I'm going to go with Immanuel Quickley right now.
What you like about his game?
Decisive, confidence. Decisive, very confident. He's not afraid of the moment. And he's a good playmaker. He brings energy to the game, to the team that they need.
Okay. Now, what do you say to those that compare his game to a player like Lou Williams? Think that's a good comparison, or?
I don't know if that's, to me, I don't know if that's a good comparison. Lou Williams was primarily a bench player, coming off the bench. Quickly, what does he come off the bench now for the Knicks?
Yeah.
But I don't see him being a bench player for like his career. I expect him to crack the starting lineup at some point.
Really?
He should be starting. Who's starting over him now?
Well, right now, we had a bunch of point guards.
Right.
They're not even with us no more, some of them.
Right.
We had Alfred Payton.
Alfred Payton was okay. He was pretty good.
And, we had Frank Ntilikina. He got traded to Dallas.
Ntilikina's solid. He's a good defender, big guard. But to me, he's a backup point guard or backup too. To me, he's not really a starter.
Okay.
The Knicks have problems scoring. So to me, anybody that can score, unless they really deficient on defense, should be starting. Again, the object of basketball, the object of the game is to what? Score the ball.
Absolutely.
And what have they been having problems doing?
Right.
Scoring the ball.
Right.
So you get as many guys in the lineup that can score the ball if they're not too much of a liability on defense.
Okay.
That's what if you can't score, you can't win.
Right. So what do you say to those who can score but don't have no defense?
That's what I say. As long as they're not too much of a liability on D, they can start. But the league is not really predicated upon defense. The rules aren't set up for defense. I'm not saying defense does still win championships, but you might have to sacrifice some defensive prowess for offensive skill in their particular case, because the team is just can't seem to be able to score.
Right.
I don't know why. These guys play ball their life.
Right.
Everybody want to shoot. Everybody want to score.
Right. So you think Immanuel Quickley would be the man?
I think.
Or he got potential.
Yeah, I think he should be the starting point guard. I wish I knew. I told you I'm a Knicks fan. I don't even know the starting lineup, but he should be starting to me. That's just my humble opinion.
Okay, and nothing wrong with that. And then he's playing backcourt with no other than Derrick Rose.
Right. Rose is a two now. Rose ain't trying. He's not really setting anybody up. Rose is looking to score. They're using him as a scorer. His primary role is what? Scoring, right?
Right, but they got him in the second unit, though.
Right. So see what I'm saying? You need somebody in the starting backcourt that can put the ball in the basket.
Okay, so I'm asking you, brother, do you believe Kemba Walker could fulfill those shoes, man?
Oh, definitely. You know what? Thank you. I forgot. I knew they added somebody. I just couldn't remember. Kemba Walker definitely fills that role. If it's not Quickly, Kemba should be the starter to me. That's a simple deduction.
Yeah, but Kemba Walker,
or.
But he's not big on defense neither.
Like I said, you will sacrifice some defensive prowess for some offensive skill.
You just say that. And hopefully with Tom Thibodeau, he could bring the best out of Kemba.
The team is primarily, they're not really predicated upon individual defenders. It's a team defensive sort of a thing. They don't have a whole lot of individual stopper guys, straight defensive stoppers.
Right.
You don't have a whole lot of guys like that. There's probably one or two guys that I just right now, it's early, I don't know, I can't get my thoughts processed.
But I'll help you out, man. We got Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson is an in the paint defender. He's an in the post guy.
Right. How do you feel about him? Because right now,
I love Mitchell Robinson.
He's under fire too.
They missed him last year during the playoffs. That was obvious. Had no size inside, no rebounding, no shot blocking, no rim protection. They missed Mitchell Robinson. You'll see how much of an impact he has on the team this year when he comes back.
And he gained some weight, like 60
right,
pounds.
And he's a rim protector, shot blocking. He's a double-double. He can get you 10 and 12 just about every night.
What do you say to his critics that say he put up empty stats? Like, he does that in as far as the shot blocking and whatnot. But,
I'm gonna say, but so the question I would have for people to say you put up empty stats. What are empty stats? The Knicks are hardly ever blowing anybody out. So where are the empty stats going? Empty stats come from blowouts, right? And things like that. When you're blowing someone out or when you're getting blown out, right?
Okay.
So Knicks are hardly ever getting blown out or blowing anybody out.
Right.
Most of the games are what? Very close, right?
Very
and competitive.
close.
Right, so there are no empty stats. All the stats are significant. There are no empty stats. I don't know who said that, but I'm just here to offset that. That's just, again, my humble opinion.
Yeah, because, I got some, I call them Mitchell Robert haters. I ain't mentioning no names, but I'm G5,
Right,
They're saying stuff like, Mitchell Robinson, he's a bum. I got people actually saying Mitchell Robinson is a bum, man.
Some people don't understand what guy's role is on the team, and if you follow a person or a player from the at least from the college, I don't expect people to follow people from high school, but follow a guy from college, his history, he wasn't an offensive player in college. He wasn't putting up 20 points, 25 points. You know what I mean? You have to look at that and see where does he fit in.
Right, I don't think he played too much of college, Mitchell Robinson. I think straight out of high school, and he went to the summer
G League or development.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever the case may be. Again, he was never a guy that was putting up phenomenal numbers scoring wise, right?
Right.
So why are you going to expect him to do that on the next level?
Gotcha.
The defense is going to be harder to score.
Right.
He's not that type of player. He's a rebounding rim protector type player.
Okay.
That's what he's going to do for you. He can get you some points on a break, an alley-oop, but don't, somebody get into the paint, create something, drop it off to him. He's a finisher.
Right.
His role, he's got to wait to get the ball from someone to score, right?
Absolutely.
So that's going to marginalize what he's able to do.
Okay. And when we speak of R.J. Barrett, man.
Barrett, I liked his development last year from the first year. He seemed more confident. He got stronger. I expect to see more of a development from him this year. He's got to step up at another level in like a quarter and a half for the team to be more successful. They need him to score more. Again, back to scoring. Their primary problem, issue is what? Scoring. The team is great defensively, right?
Right. So I think they was number 3.
Right, and points per game differential, whatever, opponents, or whatever, stuff like that. Opponents field goal percentage and stuff like that. So again, all the focus should be on the offense, not defense. I mean, you can still make improvements, but you need to be able to score.
But what do you say to those who say that defense create offense?
It does, but not all the time. The object of the game is to score the ball.
Right.
You can't get past that. The object of the game is to score. Doesn't matter how you do, whether it's created through offense and defense, you still got to. If your defense is not that great that night, what are you going to do? You still got to play offense. If the defense isn't creating turnovers to facilitate offense, you still have to be able to score. That could be coaching.
Okay.
What kind of scheme are they? What kind of plays are they running?
Okay.
Are the coaches coaching to the players' strengths and not trying to have the players fit into something they don't necessarily do well?
Okay. Now, speaking of coaches, man, I know you know about the history of Knicks coaches that we had. Van Gundy's, Mike D's, necessarily not in that order, Dave Fizdale's.
Right.
Tom Thibodeau, in your eyes, is he the closest thing to a Red Holzman? When we speak about bringing these Knicks to a championship,
I'm gonna leave Red Holzman out.
Is he the closest thing to a Red Holzman?
I mean, I'm gonna bring it back and make it more current. He'd probably be the closest thing to a Jeff Van Gundy because he's the best coach they had after. He came after Pat Riley, right?
Okay, I forgot about Pat Riley. Yes, sir.
Right. So he would be the closest thing, Thibodeau, to Pat Riley or Jeff Van Gundy because those are two best coaches they had in recent history. Right? That's when they were really competitive. They were contending for championships, going to the playoffs, going deep into the playoffs, right?
Right.
So coaching is very key. Thibodeau is he's a good coach. I would call him a great coach had he won a championship or coached a team to a championship. But his credentials are solid. I like him as their coach. He brings a sense of toughness and accountability defensively, which you need. Offensively, he might leave a little bit to be desired because he's so defensive-minded.
Correct.
So I guess he leaves most of the offensive work to some of his assistants, which is sort of smart. You can enlist people to do other things that you don't necessarily do well. That's a good coach.
Right.
So to me, they might need to iron out. Maybe there's some things they could do scheme-wise, schematic-wise, to make it easier for the players to score.
Right.
More motion in the offense, more passing, stuff like that.
Okay. Was you surprised with the Knicks' place and standards?
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Nobody expected him to do that well that quickly. You could see that there was some progress being made, but they definitely ascended quickly, and that's a good
seed,
thing.
man. Full seed.
Yeah, and that's a good thing,
And then we went to the playoffs.
Yeah, there was nothing cheap about where they landed in the standings. They earned their place in the standings. They ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw in Trae Young. I don't know if they knew how good he was. I don't know how that could be. He's playing in the league in the same conference, and y'all played him a couple of times a year.
Yeah, we was busting their ass.
But see how.
But when it came to the postseason,
that's when coaching comes in more. That's when coaching becomes more significant, right?
Okay.
Okay, so because the game is supposed to slow down more and things are supposed to get, whatever, not so much up and down, more half court. So now coaching becomes more significant.
So you think that's what hurted Julius Randle? Because when we speak of him, he led the Knicks all regular season, and then when we got to the postseason, he was more like Cinderella losing the glass shoe.
Yeah, you know what? To me, what happened to Randle was he reverted back to Julius Randle when he played with the Lakers.
Elaborate. What you saying?
He was like one-dimensional. All of the stuff that he was doing last year, he'd never done any of that with the Lakers. The dribbling, the playmaking, the assists, all of that, the shooting, the three-point shooting, he didn't have that with the Lakers. He didn't have any of those skill sets. If he did, he didn't show them. He didn't exhibit them with the Lakers. With the Lakers, he was just one-dimensional, go to the left, barrel through a guy, barrel into a guy, create some contact and score, or try to score or get fouled. That's all he was doing. The Knicks' game totally changed and blossomed. He was dribbling off the ball, making plays for other guys, hitting three-pointers, getting to the foul line. He wasn't doing any of that with the Lakers. He was a totally different player with the Knicks than he was with the Lakers. What happened to him in the playoffs, like I said, he reverted back to the old Julius Randle. Think about the game when he was getting the ball. He's forcing things. Dude, you gotta let the game come through. He's balancing, he's forcing stuff.
Okay.
But then playing the same game he played in the regular season, that was obvious.
Okay.
And again, that's where, to me, coaching comes in a little bit there.
All right.
You see him struggling, you got to help him, meet him halfway. Go to him, find out what he might be struggling with, and make some, what can we do to get you off?
So, once again, now that we got Kemba Walker, do you think that would bring an addition to what Kemba Walker needs? Julius Randle needs.
Yeah, it should be relative to him playing better. If you got a guy who's a good point guard, a good facilitator, a good playmaker, it should get you some easy shots. The game should come easy to you. He's supposed to get you your shots and your spots.
That's what I was thinking, but someone pulled my coat and was saying that Kemba Walker is not a pass.
Yeah,
he's a shooting guard.
First point guard, but I'm not going to sit here and say that he can't make plays, because he can. I'm pretty sure he's got to average at least 5 or 6 assists for his career. He's a point guard. He's one of the better point guards in the league. Got to be in like the top 10, or was. So to me, he's still a good player. He's sufficient enough. He should be sufficient enough, because the whole weight of the job doesn't fall him. There'll be other players playing too. So again.
Okay. And when we speak about the power forward position, right? Because we got a lot of point guards, and we got power forwards in Julius Randle and my man Obi, who some say, where does he lies when it concerning his minutes, being that he's in the shadow of JR. Julius Randle.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? That's not a problem. I mean, he's behind Randle. He's behind him because he just got drafted. So that's his position on the team. As far as Toppin is concerned, I like his upside. He has a good touch, and I think he'll be able to develop into one of those three-point perimeter guys, those big guys that play on the perimeter a little bit. Even though he is a high riser, he has a nice skill. I think if he can develop a three-point shot and become a good three-point shooter. I like Obi Toppin, and I like what he can bring to the team. He needs more minutes. That's what he needs.
And you think he'll be sufficient with more minutes?
Yeah, all he needs is more time. So gain confidence and grow, and to be able to establish and find out what he can do in the league. You don't know what you can do if you're not playing.
Do you think that's the situation Kevin Knox found himself in?
No, I don't know what happened to Knox. Obviously, something happened to him. I think Knox might be lazy. Because if you see a guy, he had that one good year the first year, and then the next season, he's not playing much. And then when he is playing, he's not playing well. To me, that said there's something going on in practice that the coaches are not seeing. That's why he's not getting playing time, right?
Right.
Because I'm not at practice every day. I can go back to, I'm going to make a deduction from draw a conclusion from he played well one year, didn't play so well the next year, and then now you can't get back on the court. They drafted another guy, but you were drafted ahead of him and showed something, and you can't get on the court ahead of him. That's a problem.
Okay.
Because you should be ahead. If they're looking to bring somebody in, they're supposed to looking at you to pull you off the bench first. You sitting on the bench, they bringing him in.
Right.
And
like,
he was drafted behind you.
Like Immanuel Quickley, for instance.
Right.
Yeah, Immanuel Quickley getting more minutes than Kevin Knox.
I think Knox is going to be cut this year. If he don't step up, they probably gave him some kind of ultimatum. Listen, you got to step up, or you're probably not going to make the team. They don't need him. They got Toppin now. They don't really need him.
Right. And now this season, it's being said that the Knicks is looking to be more of a three-pointer shooting team.
Now you see what I said about Toppin? See how that ties in with Toppin?
Yeah.
Knox was a good. He looked like he was a good shooter right there first year he came and he was knocking shots down.
Yeah.
But again, to me, that's a lot of cases when you see guys just do something and all of a sudden they disappear. That's got something to do with their work ethic or something. To me.
Okay. Nail in the coffin, OG. This is it. Where do you see the Knicks lining up as far as, when we speak of their records? How many wins, how many losses?
Wins and losses, that's hard to quantify.
Is we going back into the playoffs?
Yeah, they'll definitely make the playoffs.
Are we going further now that we got Kemba Walker, McBride, and all these additional pieces, man?
To get out of the first round, they're going to have to be able to score more. You got to be able to score better. And you can see what happened. They just couldn't score with the teams. It's not like they couldn't defend with them. They just couldn't score. Again, scoring is the main issue. They'll make the playoffs. I expect them to be the 4th seed again, maybe higher. But they'll fall around 4 again, I guess. And they should be able to move on to advance to the second round with the additions in the team. And I guess some of the other players in the conference improved as well. But to me, they should fall around the same spot and maybe be able to advance. With the addition of the team, they should be able to advance to the second round. Championship, might have to wait on that a little longer.
I'm with you on that.
They need 2 more pieces. To me, they need more guys inside. They need more big bodies.
Big bodies.
Yeah, they need at least 1-2 guys, big bodies, and people that can score inside. Toppin can score. Toppin can score inside and out. You just got to develop him. Toppin is a lot of upside. I don't know. I'm going back to Toppin, but that's it. I think they'll fall in the 4th spot again, and they should be able to advance. Everybody's got to step up, coaches included.
And there we go, man. I want to thank the OG for coming on Knickavelli TV, dropping them Knick Chronicles, man, letting it be known what the Knicks need. And you know what? Tomorrow, man, Knicks' first game during the preseason, man.
First preseason game tomorrow. Who are they playing?
Damn, if I'm not mistaken, I would like to think it's the Pistons.
Oh, okay. Well, it really doesn't
if
matter.
I'm not mistaken. I know if I'm wrong, they're going to pull me up. They're going to pull my coat.
Right.
It starts tomorrow, y'all. I can't wait, man.
Right. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on Knickavelli TV, man. Maybe I'll run into you again. Thanks, brother.
Peace.